The first thing to note is that Bangladesh was not always known as Bangladesh. Before 1947, in the British-ruled India, Bengal or Bangla was a province, and in 1947 it was divided into West Bengal and East Pakistan. So what does the word Bangladesh even mean? So when we take a look at its root, it means the country of Bengal, and it can be traced back to the early 20th century when Bengali patriotic songs used this term. The term Bangladesh was often written as two words, Bangla and of course Dash. Now the term Bangla denotes both the Bengal region as well as the Bengali language. Bangladesh's capital city is Dhaka, and it has a growing population of about 20.2 million according to the latest numbers in 2019. Now it was at one point the most densely populated city on the planet. Now not to be confused with the most populated city in the world. Dhaka had a population density of 23,234 people per square kilometers. Now to calculate population density, you gotta divide the population by the size of the land area. So population density equals number of people divided by the land area. Fun little math equation for you today. Now when we take a look at the flag of Bangladesh, you'll see a red disc in the middle. Well, that represents the rising sun and the sacrifice to achieve independence. Now the green symbolizes the green fields and the lush environments of Bangladesh. Very simple. Yeah, that's pretty much the flag. Very symbolic. Like honestly, when you see images and video clips of Bangladesh, you'll see what I'm talking about when I say it has a lush environment. Bangladesh also has a world record. The most people singing a national anthem simultaneously is 254,537, and it was achieved by the Ministry of Cultural Affairs, the government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, at the National Parade Ground in Dhaka, Bangladesh on March 26, 2014. Now the Philippines, they tried to break this record, but they only had a total of 94,584 people actually turn up, but their target was to have 300,000 people singing their national anthem. So yeah, Bangladesh still holds this record to this day. Also, on December 11th of 2004, over 5 million people joined hands to form a human chain. And the chain was 1,050 kilometers or 652.4 miles long. And this stretched from the city of Teknaf to Tentulia, Bangladesh. The participants were supporters of the 14 opposition parties led by the Bangladesh Awami League to express their no confidence campaign to the BNP-led alliance government and to demand fresh polls. So that's another world record that Bangladesh has. Now you see this guy right here, his name is Parimal Chandra Barman. Now he was born in 1962 in Bangladesh. Then at the time it was known as East Pakistan though. Now he was considered to be the tallest person in the world back in 1991, and he stood at 8 foot 3 inches tall. Sadly he passed away in 1991 due to a tumor on his pituitary gland, which was actually the cause of his incredible growth. Now what's crazy is that he also suffered from malnutrition. So you don't have to be small and shriveled up to be malnourished. This was one thing that we learned with him. Whole lot of interesting going on over in Bangladesh. For the next fact, we look at the sport of Kabaddi. Now Kabaddi is the national sport of Bangladesh. However, cricket and football are considered to be the most popular sports in Bangladesh. Now if you're not familiar, Kabaddi, it's sort of like an intense mix of tag and cat and mouse. Like people get like real into it. It looks pretty fun though. I've never played it myself, but yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. Another interesting thing about Bangladesh is that there are two main rivers that run through the country. There's the Ganges River as well as the Brahmaputra rivers, and they are holy to the Hindus. The Ganges Delta is formed mainly by the large flows of the Ganges as well as the Brahmaputra rivers, and it's the world's largest delta at about 59,000 square kilometers, which is about 23,000 square miles, and it flows into the Bay of Bengal. There are often floods, however, because of these two rivers. There's just so much water flowing through them. And finally, Bangladesh is among the top 5 countries in the world with the lowest body mass index or BMI. The least obese countries in the world have obesity rates lower than 2%. Now the other 4 countries are Ethiopia, Nepal, Eritrea, as well as Madagascar. Bangladesh's BMI average is 20.5 20.5 for women and 20.4 for men. And what's interesting is that more than 9 million children, which is more than half of all of the Bangladeshi children, are underweight and suffer from stunted growth. Alright, so first thing I want to share is here in North America, right, and for many other parts of the world, there's 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall or autumn, and then there's winter, which I don't like. I'm learning to like it though. However, Bangladesh is sometimes called the playground of the seasons. Why? Because it has 6 different seasons, and those are called Grishma, which is summer, Barsha is rainy season, Sharat is autumn, Hemanto is cool, Sheet is winter, and Boshanto is spring. So a whole lot of different weather variations going on. Now speaking of seasons, due to Bangladesh being so low-lying and tropical, the ground has never frozen over with a record low of 4.5 degrees Celsius. And that was in Jessore, Bangladesh during the winter of 2011. And another interesting fact about Bangladesh is that the highest point in Bangladesh is Saka Hafong, and that's 1,052 meters high, which works out to be 3,451 feet high. Now the next thing I want to discuss is some of the wildlife over in Bangladesh. So you see this animal right here, this is the Royal Bengal tiger, and it's Bangladesh's national animal. It has a roar that can be heard up to 3 kilometers away. Unfortunately though, it is an endangered species. So of course, we gotta do what we gotta do to save the tigers. Imagine a world without tigers, especially the Bengal tiger. What would we do with ourselves? But although the Bengal tiger may be the animal that people associate Bangladesh with all around the world, it of course isn't the only animal in the country. Bangladesh is home to roughly 53 species of amphibians, 19 species of marine reptiles, 139 species of reptiles, 380 species of birds, 116 species of mammals, and 5 species of marine mammals. Now in addition to the large bird count, there's a further 310 species of migratory birds, and that increases the bird numbers every single year. Now it has the Bengal tiger, of course, the Asian elephant, the Hulak gibbon, Asian black bear, and although it's so rich with wildlife, several animals have vanished completely from the country, and further 201 species are threatened. Bangladesh's independence was declared on March 26, 1971. Now the borders of modern Bangladesh were established with the partition of Bengal and India in August of 1947, when the region became East Pakistan as part of the newly formed state of Pakistan and became known as East Pakistan. However, it was separated from West Pakistan by about 1,600 kilometers, which is about 994 miles, so it wasn't actually even connected to Pakistan anyway. So because of this, the land was discriminated against, and this led to the War of Independence in March of 1971, where it could now become its own country, and now we have the country of Bangladesh, and it's completely independent of Pakistan and India, which of course is something that they're very proud of. At the time of filming this episode, the population of Bangladesh is 163.7 million, which puts it in 8th place in terms of the most populated countries in the entire world. Bangladesh's population is equivalent to 2.11% of the total world population, and the population density in Bangladesh is 1,253 people per square kilometers, which is about 3,244 people per square mile. Now when I go traveling, I definitely gotta hit the beaches. So of course, if you're somebody that loves beaches like me, for multiple reasons anyways, well, you gotta check this one out. This beach is in the town of Cox's Bazar in Bangladesh, and it is the longest unbroken sea beach in the entire world. It is 120 kilometers or 74.5 miles of sandy beach. It is absolutely beautiful. Now only 2 more facts left. The Bay of Bengal is the largest bay in the entire world. When it comes to the size, its size is 2,172,000 square kilometers. It forms the northeastern part of the Indian Ocean. And the final fact I want to share with you about the country of Bangladesh is this material, muslin, is a renowned lightweight cotton fabric that was first handwoven in the Bengal region around present-day Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh. Now the name muslin muslin is thought to have come from the city of Mosul in the current day Iraq. Now the traditional hand weaving of Dhaka muslin is still practiced in Bangladesh today, and it's more commonly known by the Persian name Jamdani, and it's also recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Bangladesh is home to the world's largest mangrove forest, and that is the Sundarbans. This mangrove forest is also protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It covers an area of 139,500 hectares, which is 539 square miles, and it's home to a vast number of different species. Also, about 90% of the population of Bangladesh is Muslim. Yeah, did you know that Bangladesh is the 4th largest Muslim country in the entire world? Only Indonesia and Pakistan and India have more Muslims living within its borders. With 88.3% of the population following the faith of Islam to be exact, you'll find that 96% of the Bangladeshi Muslims are Sunni and over 3% are Shia, and 1% follow the Ahmadiyya school of thought. Hinduism is the largest minority religion in Bangladesh at 10.5% of the population, and there's also smaller minorities like less than 1% of people who identify as Christian, as well as Buddhists and animists. Now you just might get hungry with this fact. This hilsa fish curry is the national dish of Bangladesh. So like if you travel to Bangladesh, make sure you try some of this fish curry. Like I've read reviews about it, people absolutely love it. Hilsa is a species of fish that is related to the herring family, and it's a very popular food over in Bangladesh. Of course, it's a national dish. Now for the currency used in Bangladesh, it's called the taka, which means currency in the Bengali language. The currency code for takas is BDT, and the currency symbol is TK. Currently at the time of filming this episode, one Bangladeshi taka equals 0.012 US dollars. Bangladesh also has a lack of rock to use in construction. So therefore, you're gonna notice that there are hundreds of brick kilns with massive chimneys scattered all over the country. Now, once the bricks are fired, they break them into rock using an aggregate for construction. Just a little interesting fact if you were curious about construction in Bangladesh. Now, the next thing I want to share is Bangladesh has its own share of famous people. So check it out. There's a lot of famous people who were born in Bangladesh, such as Dr. Muhammad Yunus, who is a Nobel Peace Prize winner. He received the award for developing the concept of microcredit as well as microfinance. Then there's Jawed Karim, who's a co-founder of the famous video uploading website YouTube, which you're watching this video on right now. So we here at FTD Facts definitely got to give a big shout out to the people of Bangladesh. Y'all produced one of the guys that helped create this platform. Also, Jawed Karim uploaded the very first YouTube video. Then there's Salman Khan, who's the founder of the largest internet school, the Khan Academy. So not the Bollywood actor, by the way. Khan Academy is a non-profit online academy that has educated over 10 million students. But I'll just stop there for now. We got some more facts to get to. Bangladesh is home to the world's largest river delta and the world's largest mangrove. Now the largest delta is the Ganges-Brahmaputra Delta, and it spans most of Bangladesh as well as West Bengal, India, and it empties into the Bay of Bengal. And for the largest mangrove, that is the Sundarbans, it lies on the delta of the Ganges. Now the Brahmaputra and the Meghna rivers on the Bay of Bengal. It lies on the delta of the Ganges, Brahmaputra, and Meghna rivers off the Bay of Bengal, and it's adjacent to the border of India's Sundarbans World Heritage Site. The area is known for its wide range of fauna, including 260 bird species and the Bengali tiger, as well as some other threatened species. Now, the area that is now Bangladesh has been settled for many thousands of years. There have been a series of dynasties that have ruled the area, including the Buddhist Pala dynasty and the Hindu Sina dynasty. Now, by the 12th century, Arab merchants had come to Bengal and the religion of Islam began to spread. And by the time you get to the 16th century, the Mughal Empire took control of Bengal and the city of Dhaka became the important center for the Mughal administration. Okay, only two more facts left. The next one deals with the national flower of Bangladesh, and that is the white-flowered water lily, aka the shapla. So the water lily is found in every part of Bangladesh, and it's special because when it blooms, no dirt comes on it or on its leaves, and the Bangladeshi people honor it as a symbol of purity of the soul. So shortly after the liberation of Bangladesh, the then government selected the water lily as the national flower of Bangladesh, and you can find it also in the center of the emblem of Bangladesh. And the last thing I want to share with you is, did you know that Bangladesh also has 3 UNESCO World Heritage Sites? And those are the Bagarat, the Sundarbans, I think I mentioned that a bit earlier, then the Sampur Mahapihara. Starting with the Bagarat, this is a medieval Muslim city where you will find the 60-dome mosque. I mentioned that the Sundarbans, by the way, was the largest mangrove, but it's also a World Heritage Site. Just want to throw that in to make you know how important that site actually is. And then we have the Sampur Mahapihara. This is a Buddhist monastery that was built in the 8th century, and also it's the largest of its kind in the Himalayas. Okay, so just like that, we come to the end, and I also want to hear from you guys. Like, what are your thoughts, feelings, and opinions about anything that I shared in this episode? I also take requests here on FTD Facts, so you can also let me know what topics you want to see next.